Wow, cheers, I do buckaroos. How the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer and Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video. No, I'm not really in this nice bar behind me, but you knew that, right? Yeah, we knew that, Tom. Just trying to set a mood. Anyways, working through near the end. We're almost there, man. I got this back in December. I don't know, about a week or two before Christmas. Who can remember now? But I just go ahead and finish her up. I got just a little bit left, probably about a shot and a half left. Gave myself a generous 2.5 ounce pour here. Then I pair it with a beer. This is a no new beer weekend. It's a no new beer weekend. Had some money, but my wife and I decided we were going to an Amish store, and well, we bought everything. We bought everything, man. So anyway, yeah, we had enough had enough left to buy one bottle of wine on the way home. Anyway, see, bought a lot of food. Didn't buy any junk, but we bought a lot of seasonings for me actually. Trying to get ready for the fall, I guess, or some stuff I like to have on hand. Various seasonings. I like to use some dried veg as well. I like to buy they have dried red and green bell peppers, which are handy to put into soup stews, meatloaf, just various things. It's just handy to have when you don't have the fresh. I've got that to go to. I also pick up some dehydrated soup veg, again, good for soup stews, that sort of thing. Anyways, I also had one of these left. I've had this for a little while, so I thought I'd go ahead and finish it up. I bought it back in May, man, but it is a quad, so I'm not too concerned. That's 10%. From Public House, as I believe it's the first quad I've ever purchased in a can. Public House out of Rolla and St. James, Missouri. They're doing some great stuff out there. My wife and I visited them back in May, the end of May. We had took a few days off, and we ended up at St. James Winery. So we did a wine tasting there, and then my wife took a little break, and I went into Public House Brewing because they share a parking lot. Oh, mercy. That's nice. It's got a nice nose. Can you elaborate, Tom? Yeah, I probably could. That's nice. That tells us a lot, Tom. Thanks for that. Thanks for nice. thanks, Tom. Anyways, it's very floral nose, fruity. You might find some dark fruits in there. Personally, I'm getting some overripe plum. It's probably me. I feel like I'm picking up some lavender notes as well. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. I do like the quad. This one is done rather well. I'm going to pick up this whiskey here. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous, man. It was nice. Again, I kind of hesitated on buying it because I didn't want to spend $80 for it, but then I found it for about $60. I picked it up. Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea, a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys, very small batch at 90 proof. Is it worth it? Yeah, I think it is. It just depends on what you're in the mood for, right? It is one of those names that and a lot of folks want to have it in their collection, if you will. I'm not a collector. I don't know. I don't understand the collector mentality, right? Everything I buy is with the intent to drink. Now, I've had bottles that I put away for more than a year at a time, but they're not there to collect, right? They're going to be drank. It drives me crazy when people will bring you over to their house and show you 100 bottles that they have no intention of ever opening. Well, why are you showing me? And Shadow? My cat Shadow, she likes to be in the shop, but I've set this up a little bit different over here today, and and she's about to knock everything down. Yeah? You are unhappy, aren't you? I am not happy with... So, anyways, without going into the whole Shadow story, Shadow the cat. Shadow is 15. ish. You know, it's one of those that was abandoned after the '07 ice storm. So I don't know exactly when her birthday is, but I know it's you know, January of '07. So I know she is 15. So we tend to cut both of them a lot of slack. Eddie's also 15, but Eddie is a couple months younger. Eddie came around in March. Another abandoned cat just showed up. For some reason, either the cat attached herself to Seamus or Seamus attached himself to the cat. I'm not sure who made the first move. But either way, we ended up with another cat we weren't planning on because Seamus was rather attached to that cat. But I think the cat was attached to Seamus too. It was the damnedest thing. Eddie would do some things. Seamus had this thing called a buzzsaw. Made a horrible racket. Every time he'd wind that up, the other cats would scatter and hide, but Eddie would go right to Seamus's leg like a pointer. She'd shoot those, and he'd go out, grip that ball with her little teeth, and bring it right back. The only fetching cat I've ever seen. The thing is, she wouldn't do that for anybody else but Seamus. Anyways, I digress. As I do this video, it would be Seamus's 24th birthday. So we're kind of fighting off the melancholy. It's kind of one reason we went out to the Amish store today, is because that's stuff he liked to do. He liked to pick out spices. He loved to make spice rubs. Rubs and sauces was kind of his forte, but he had this thing about putting seasoning blends together that was just uncanny. Every time he put something together, he was, you know, it was amazing. But anyway, I digress. Very sweet initially, nice middle, oaky and spicy in the finish. I'm not going to go into, you know, pretentious jargon. It's just not what I do. And especially today, I just ain't feeling it. But I will tell you, that is nice. It does drink very well. I have drank most of this neat, although I will confess I did have some on the rocks. I tried some in a few cocktails, but yeah, over half of it was drank neat. I'm going to say the rest of what I have left will be drank neat. I apologize. I can't grab my nose. My nose is itching. That and my Tourette's is kicking up. I love the finish though. It's got a beautiful spicy finish. And so just a hint of sweetness, right? You almost get a hint of a raw honey sweetness with those beautiful kind of mixed spice notes. A little bit of allspice, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of clove. Might even find a hint of nutmeg in there if you're cheap to spices. Set that down for a second. Man, that's nice beer. It'd been the first time I'd been to a Public House Brewing in, I don't know, 5 or so years. It'd been a while, so it was nice to go in there again. And they've got great beers. They can some great stuff, but there's always a small handful that they don't have canned on tap, and that was nice. Even though it wasn't the time for it, I did have a barrel-aged stout. I mean, it was, you know, it was May, so not necessarily stout weather, but boy, when you got a barrel-aged on tap, I'm gonna drink it. I'm gonna drink it, man. You ever see the movie Wild Hogs, the character Dudley? Do you like chili? Yeah, I like chili. Not the hot stuff, but if you put a nice turkey chili in front of me, I'm going to eat it. Anyway, yeah, you put a barrel-aged stout in front of me, I'm going to drink it, man. Anyway, It is a nice pairing because of the they have a similar like sweetness. When I do pairings, I'm not necessarily looking for like aromas and like flavors. What I'm looking for is compatible flavors and aromas. It's kind of why I picked the Berkey, because I kind of had an idea what flavors and aromas this whiskey had. So when I opened the fridge. I looked at some options because I wanted to go big, and I thought about there's a couple different stouts that I have in there, barrel-aged stouts, but I decided to go with this Berkey for that reason, because I thought the fruit notes would complement each other. Also the sweetness of the whiskey, the beer, I just thought it would work together well. So anyway, I've talked long enough. I'm not going to drink it all with you. That would take much too long. That would take much too long, and we just don't care anymore, Tom. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I'm also Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. Who are you, man? Does anybody know who anybody is? Let's get existential up in here. Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, all around good guy. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.